I don't realize how much I brace myself not to be heard until right before my therapy appointment today. So today was my first therapy appointment with a therapist who specializes in ADHD and autism, which is my diagnosis. And I'll be honest, I want to post this part as like my initial after therapy feelings. But prior to this appointment, I was apprehensive of this appointment, even though this person specializes in what I've been diagnosed with. Can be like, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't want to say what's in my head because it may come off as offensive to someone who's not black. But I was just apprehensive of, because I didn't want to be like disregarded, because I'm like, you different. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. But back once I'm settled. Well, first I want to talk about how, like, before therapy, how my day was a little chaotic. So for me, when I have appointments, I'm assuming it's the neurodivergency. When I have an appointment, my day is basically revolving around that appointment or that event of the day. It's hard for me to do anything prior to the event or the appointment, because if it's one thing, I'm hyper focused on that one thing. Today was therapy. Now, of course, I have my daily things that I go through. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, etc. But on therapy days, I do not want to deal with nothing else that is outside of me prepping for therapy. I don't want to put out little fires. I don't want to have certain discussions. I just want to deal with my therapy and then everything else after. That's why I primarily book all my appointments early in the morning, because I want to deal with that stuff first and then everything else after. Of course, that was not my story today. And I was like really annoyed. On the beginning, I'm so used to being guarded and being trying to brace myself for not being heard. I just assume, because again, we thrive in familiarity, but sometimes some of our trauma comes from people closer to us and who look like us. So that was like the battle I was dealing with going to the therapy appointment. But I'm glad I kind of pushed what happened before the appointment out the way, as well as my apprehension, because I went into the appointment and I came out feeling so better. So the therapist I've been seeing, like I said, she was cool. I didn't really feel like the therapy sessions were productive per se, but I was just going to them. I felt like I was just going through the motions. Then I received my diagnosis, and the office where I received my diagnosis, I did ask them if they had anyone that specializes in ADHD and autism, which is the diagnosis I received, and they did recommend someone. And today, I just came to the realization. I think the reason why I appreciated this therapy appointment and I'm feeling this therapy appointment, because this is someone that specializes in my neurodivergency, and the way the appointment was navigated was totally different. So the therapist I've been seeing, like when I first started going to her, it's always left like open ended. Like it's a questions asked, but the questions are like, I don't know, too general for me, and I kind of don't know what to say, right? But today, again, because I guess because I'm dealing with someone who specializes in autism, her questions were very direct. So I was able to answer. I got a direct question. I gave a direct answer. Although because of the type of person I am, my answers aren't like cut and dry. I always feel like I have to add layers to bring understanding, which I feel like makes for a productive exchange. And I felt like that's what happened today. So overall, it was an amazing appointment. I really did appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to my next appointment. And after a couple of sessions, I may go ahead and move on from my last therapist and just sit with this person right now. But yeah, this was my first therapy appointment. These are my thoughts.